Hello everyone, I'm Melissa and I'm here today as Solid's first data engineer. Today I will be talking about AI in business. We will talk about what AI really is and how can we integrate this tool into the Solid team. As a quick overview, I'll roughly talk about my function in Solid, what AI really is, key AI technologies and popular tools, and lastly, how we can integrate AI into our business. So firstly, me and my function. As I said, I'm a data engineer here at our company. My background is in AI, data engineering, and data analysis. Since I joined here a few months ago, I've been working on improving our data infrastructure and warehouse. I mostly use tools called dbt and Snowflake, which I will explain in more detail later. With my AI and analysis knowledge, I also help explain my findings in practical terms and try to identify right opportunities for our business. This role is meant to be the bridge between what's technically possible and what makes sense in business terms. And today I will be sharing some insights about AI that I think will be valuable for all of us as we consider how this technology can help our business grow. Here's the thing about AI. The word has become so overused in marketing that it's lost its meaning. When people hear AI, they think of robots or machines that can think like humans, which will provide fast magic solutions to them. But the reality is much more different. AI is essentially mathematics. It's computers finding patterns in data and using those patterns to make predictions or automate tasks. So no, it's not magic. It's practical tools that can help us work more efficiently. As we said, at its core, AI is mostly mathematics. The AI that was originally defined, machines that think and feel like humans, doesn't exist yet. And what we have today are sophisticated statistical models that make logical decisions based on data patterns. Take Spotify recommendations for an example. When it suggests a song you might like, it's not because the computer understands music or your emotions. It's because it found mathematical patterns in your listening history and compared them to patterns from users with similar tastes. It also does such analysis on the songs themselves too. Each song has a certain attribute like danceability, BPM, and so on. Thus, AI can give us quantitative measure for similarity of stuff that otherwise we would not be able to measure. It's essentially a very, very complex calculator. But this is actually good news because it means that AI is predictable, explainable, and something we can understand and control to an extent. It's important to be realistic about what AI can and cannot do. AI excels at finding that patterns in data, automating repetitive tasks, and processing information quickly. But it struggles with creative thinking, understanding context, and making ethical decisions like humans can do. The key is to think of AI as a tool that can enhance human capabilities rather than replacing them. The best results come from combining human judgment with AI's analytics power. Now, why are we talking about AI? AI is fundamentally changing the SaaS industry. Let's dive deeper into why this matters for us. On the customer experience side, SaaS products are now offering personalized dashboards that adapt to user behavior, predictive recommendations, and AI chatbots for support with interfaces where you can just ask questions in plain English instead of having to click through menus. And behind the scenes, SaaS companies are using AI for automated workflows, like task routing or quality assurance. So AI is transforming our industry, and for our product at Solid, this means that we have opportunities to add better features. The pace of change is accelerating. AI features that seemed cutting edge and crazy just a year ago are now becoming standard customer expectations. To improve customer experience, stay competitive, and increase efficiency, we must also keep up. Common industry changes include, in more detail, as I said, automated customer onboarding. Instead of manual setups, AI can now automatically create accounts, send personalized welcomes, and guide customers through setup. This means better value for time for our customers and also less repetitive tasks for us. The second is intelligent product recommendations. AI analyzes how customers use our product and suggests features or workflows that would help them succeed. It's like Netflix or Spotify recommendations, as we saw earlier, but for software features, like helping customers get more value from what they're already paying for. And third, AI-powered reporting and dashboards. Instead of static monthly reports, we're seeing almost real-time dashboards that can answer questions in plain English. Now let me break down the main types of AI technologies that you'll encounter. The first are large language models, or LLMs. These are what power ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, etc. They've been trained on enormous amounts of text data, which is how they can have conversations, write content, and understand language. These are the tools that you've probably been hearing about and probably even using. They rely on NLP, which is natural language processing. Next is computer vision, which helps computers see and analyze images. This could be used for quality control, document processing, or creating 3D models of houses, perhaps. Predictive analytics uses statistical models and machine learning to analyze historical data and forecast future outcomes. Instead of just looking at what happened last month, it predicts what will happen next month, which customers might churn, which deals are likely to close, or when equipment might need maintenance. And then there are AI agents. This is actually the new frontier. These are autonomous systems that can complete multi-step tasks and make real-time decisions. They're powered by They're powered by technologies like MCPs, which I will explain also in a moment. Now let's talk about AI tools that you've probably heard about, generally LLMs. ChatGPT from OpenAI is probably the most famous. It's great for writing, brainstorming, and even coding help. It has both free and paid versions, but we do have a subscription. Claude from Anthropic is known for being more thoughtful in its responses and great for analyzing long documents, coding, or doing research. Google Gemini integrates well with Google Workspace and includes great image generation. It's good for many usages. Microsoft Copilot is built into the Office applications, and it's specifically designed for that business use. It can help with Excel formulas, PowerPoint presentations, and Word documents, apparently. I've personally never tried it, but if you try and like it, do let the team know. The best way to understand these tools is to try them yourself with real tasks from your work. Most of them have free tiers you can experiment with. You can start with simple tasks like help me write an email to a client or explain this data trend. Just experiment with it. And now I want to talk about prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is the art of asking AI, specifically LLMs, the right questions in the right way. The difference between a mediocre response and an amazing one often comes down to how you phrase your request. And here are the key principles. Firstly, be specific and clear. Instead of write about sales, say write a 200 email to a potential customer explaining the installation process. The more specific, the better. Second, provide context. Tell the AI who you are, what you're trying to accomplish, and who your audience is. It helps tailor the response. Third, give examples. If you want a specific style, show the AI what you're looking for. Again, the more specific, the better. Fourth, specify format and length. Do you want bullet points or paragraphs? 100 words or 500? Exactly what you need. And fifth, last, iterate and refine. The first prompt might not be perfect, just adjust and try again. Think of it as a conversation. And another pretty well-known pro tip, start with act as to set the AI's role, like act as a marketing copywriter, for example. This frames the AI's perspective and is reported to improve the responses. Here's a concrete example. Bad prompt, write about sales, 2-way. And the good prompt, act as a sales manager, write a 200-word email to a potential customer explaining our installation process. Tone should be professional but friendly. Notice how much more information I provided here. Role, format, audience, tone. This is a skill you can learn in minutes, but you will use it every day, most likely. Start experimenting with these principles and you'll see likely immediate improvements in your AI interactions. Now let's talk about AI and data tools that we currently use at Solid. Here comes the Snowflake propaganda slide. Snowflake is our cloud-based data warehouse. It's like a superpowered database in cloud where all or most of our company data lives. One of Snowflake's advantages is that it's meant to be a single source of truth, aka we can hold information about all aspects of our business in there. Customer information, sales data, finances, everything can stay in here. Instead of the data being scattered around across like different systems, it's all organized and accessible in one place, so we can analyze different parts of our data all combined in together and get creative with it. But its key advantages are undoubtedly like the speed and the scale. Snowflake can run queries on millions of rows in seconds, which makes real-time dashboards and near-instant analytics possible. It scales automatically. If we need more computing power, it scales up. When we're done, it scales back down. We only pay for what we use. So it powers our reports and analytics. And here is what it matters for AI. You can't do AI without good data. AI models need clean, organized, reliable data to learn from. Snowflake ensures we have high quality and accessible data that's ready for AI applications. This next part is also directly relevant to our business. The Zolar team uses something called MCPs, as you might have heard. This is Model Context Protocol. Let's explain why this is and why it matters. MCPs provide a standardized way for AI agents to access tools and data. Think of it like a universal adapter for AI systems. The old way of doing things was to connect each tool directly through APIs, but that gets messy. Each tool needs its own custom connection, it's complex to maintain, and things break when APIs change. MCPs solve this by providing one standard protocol. It handles structured data access, tool discovery, controlled permissions, and better security. It's like having a universal translator that lets different AI tools communicate with each other. Here's how it works in practice. An AI agent needs access to customer data, update a CRM record, and send an email. Instead of writing custom API calls for each action, it uses the MCP protocol to discover and use the right tools. MCP handles authentication, data formatting, and keeps everything secure. This is important for us because as we integrate AI into Solid, we will likely be using similar approaches. MCPs represent the modern way to build AI-powered systems. So how do we start integrating AI into Solid? Good news is that we already have a strong foundation, as we talked about. Our data infrastructure is ready with dbt and Snowflake. We have clean, reliable data flows established. Our data warehouse also has good documentation, and integrating MCPs in our stack is a possible next step. So what can we do? My suggestion is that we should all think about where AI might help. Start with small pilot projects that have clear business value. We start small and scale up based on what works. For your department specifically, how we can help is identifying repetitive tasks, finding data analysis needs, proposing pilot projects, and measuring the business value. And my role as a data engineer puts me in a position to help with the AI and data integration. I can help prepare the data, identify more opportunities where AI can add value, recommend the right tools, and help measure success. Finally, let's talk about practical business applications that are relevant to us at Solid. Don't forget, these are just some common possible ideas that we can pick up, but we can definitely get more creative too. Let's start with sales. Lead scoring is a powerful application. It is like automatically predicting which leads are most likely to become customers. AI can analyze lead behavior data, website visits, downloads, engagement metrics, along with company size, industry, location, and compare that to patterns from our successful deals. Our team has already started working on this task. For marketing, AI can help most prominently with content generation. This includes email campaigns, blog posts, social media content. Now, and this is important, AI generates the content but humans review and perfect it. This gives us like good and consistent brand voice and also helps check for any mistakes, obviously, while saving time on repetitive tasks, of course. For finance, AI can do automated reportings and risk assessments. It will likely use historical data patterns, behavioral indicators, and market conditions to create statistical models that help us make better decisions. In customer support, AI chatbots can handle common questions 24/7 and maybe classify support tickets automatically, suggest responses for our team, and route issues to the right department. This improves response times and frees up our support team for complex issues that require human judgment. Then HR applications. Resume screening and matching means that AI can analyze resumes against job requirements, automatically ranking candidates and identifying top matches, which cuts off the time to hire and improves candidate quality. Performance predictions would be analyzing employee and data patterns. AI can predict which employees might struggle or excel in certain tasks. And lastly, development. AI tools like Cursor suggest code snippets, autocomplete functions, and help debug errors, making developers more productive and reducing repetitive coding tasks. You can also use AI for research. It accelerates development by automating research tasks like finding documentation, generating test cases, and explaining complex code. And this will allow developers to focus more on solving harder problems and actually getting creative. The key with all of these applications is that they're not just theoretical, they're being used by many other companies. And we already have the data infrastructure to support many of these applications. Last finishing note, AI and tech industry is rapidly changing and growing. We must keep ourselves and our systems updated constantly. And thank you for listening.